this is Sophia and welcome to a new video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm sharing with you 5 designer items that I've sold and why I've sold them. So actually 3 of the items that I'm about to talk to you about today is in front of me because I'm about to sell them to Fashionphile tomorrow. So I figured this would be the perfect time to film this video. If you're interested in me sharing the 5 designer items I would never sell, like this video so I know you're interested. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. So the first item I no longer have in front of me, but I will insert any photos that I have or videos or whatever right here. But basically it is a vintage double flap lambskin Chanel classic flap. So I had a birth year classic flap and that was like my dream bag for a really long time. I wanted to be able to like say that that bag is as old as I am. In theory, it is a beautiful bag. So the lambskin was super soft. The one that I purchased, the quilting had flattened a little, but it was still absolutely supple leather. The hardware was so stunning and everything about it was honestly exactly what I wanted. However, as I started using it, there were a few problems. So the first is I realized I did not like the double chain. It looks great in photos, it looks great, you know, when you're posing with it and everything, but if you wear it, it can really dig into your shoulders. And I did not like that. And especially in the summer where my bag is beige, so I wore it more in the summertime. And for other reasons, I wore it more in the summertime, which I will get to. I would come home and I would have like the Chanel chain just imprinted on my shoulders, and I just did not like, that was just not the vibe I was going for. So that was one of the reasons. The second one is purely because of the color I chose, but basically it just got sweat stains really easily. Of course the stain would eventually go away, but I did feel like the more I used it in the summer, the more darker certain places started to look, and I just didn't want to necessarily mess with the value of the bag like that. The third reason is, and this is something I knew, but I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal until I actually started wearing it, and that is that the crossbody chain length is just not very comfortable. So part of it is because the chain itself is super thin, so it can, like I said, dig into your shoulders. So especially when you wear a crossbody, you have less chain on your shoulder to distribute the weight. So everything's just kind of cutting into your shoulder when you're wearing a crossbody, and I did not like that. And it just hit right under my chest, and it was not very comfortable to wear. And so because of the length as well, I could not wear it if I was wearing anything bulky. So it kind of ended up purely becoming like a summer bag, but then in the summer, because of the clothes I would wear, I'd get sweat stains on it. So just everything added up, I ended up not feeling comfortable using the bag, and it would just sit in the box. And I'm not gonna lie, like part of me is interested in becoming one of those, like, you know, luxury influencers with tons of bags behind her, but in reality I would be so stressed if I had a collection like that. Like I would not know what bag to wear at any given time, and I did not want to like have such a big collection that I'm literally just having money sitting there basically and not actually enjoying and using the product. So I ended up selling that, and not gonna lie, don't regret it. So the second item is also a bag, but a lot of people would not consider a bag, probably consider it more an SLG, and that is my Fendace Nano Baguette. This was completely an impulse buy, and I kind of bought into the hype. This collaboration came out right as I started really paying attention to like the luxury YouTubers I watch, and a lot of them were talking about this collaboration. And I've always wanted a Fendi Baguette. That is one of the bags that is on my list. So I figured, you know, this collaboration might be a good time to try the Nano Baguette because I also think it's really cute, and seemingly like the normal Fendi Nano Baguettes seemed really functional. And then I got it, and is it cute? 100%. It's really adorable. But there are several problems with it. So the first is that this flap, I don't know if you can tell, it's like just this hardware alone is super heavy. And I think part of it is because of the Versace Medusa head. I don't know if it'll focus like that. Makes it heavy enough that it doesn't close easily. The second thing is that it can hold all of my cards, right? But it's kind of like an awkward size. So I can fit my AirPods Pro in here, but because of, you know, how thick and heavy this buckle is, I cannot actually close it with the AirPods Pro and all of my cards in there. I feel like the size in itself is just really, really awkward. I almost feel like I wish the Nano Baguette was either a little wider or a little longer. I just don't find myself really using it much, and every time I try to use it as a wallet, I'm like, okay, in theory it's a cute wallet, but I prefer my other wallets, so why would I use this? Especially because, you know, cash, like once you put it in here, you actually have to fold it 3 times to be able to fit it in here. Otherwise it'll just stick out really awkwardly. So that's what I mean by the sizing is really, really weird. And then the third thing is that the original Fendi Nano Baguette has like a key ring or like some sort of option to like kind of hook it to your belt buckle. And I'm not even gonna lie, when I saw this safety pin, I thought essentially it would have the same function, but this does not move. Like you can't open this. So without that keyring in the back, I really feel like it loses one of its important functions. I do think eventually I might end up buying another Nano Baguette, but I would only buy the regular Fendi Nano Baguette because just I feel like that keyring is the key to be able to, for me to use this more, because the chain is nice, but you know, it's really, really thin. It feels substantial, but it also feels flimsy at the same time. Even though this particular chain is technically adjustable, like you can make it shorter by doing that, right? But because some sort of hardware, like as you wear it, it just ends up loosening back up and making it longer again. So it doesn't stay. So there's just too many, I feel like, design flaws with this for me to actually be able to enjoy it. So this is getting sold. And the third thing is also from the Fendace collection. This one I'm actually really, really sad about. It is these Fendace sunglasses. I wonder why my autofocus is not working today. So I actually really love them. The shape is great. I love the tortoise shell. So my problem is actually the hardware on both sides makes the glasses a little heavy. So it does end up slipping off. And okay, in theory, this is cute, right? Okay. But when you wear this in the summer, at least this is my problem with it. When you wear this in the summer and you're sweating, it just slides. It doesn't just slide, like it really slides. And it's not even just like a little slide. Like it'll slide like every 2 minutes and I have to keep going like this. And after a while, I'm just like holding it here to prevent it from sliding. And like I said, I think part of it is because I have a very low nose bridge. So some glasses don't work for me because of that. And I think, you know, the nose piece itself is wider than my other sunglasses. So this is just not meant for my face. And so these have to go. Like I wore this a handful of times when I first got them and then I gave up, and these have literally just been sitting somewhere for the last year. And like I'd rather just find another pair of tortoiseshell sunglasses that actually I will wear. The fourth item I'm also really sad about. These also appeared with my boyfriend and I hate that he was kind of right. But it is these Hermes sneakers. Can I buy white sneakers anywhere else for cheaper? 100%. The price is not the issue as much as the actual shoe itself. I have a full video about why I'm selling these shoes in my shorts, so I will leave the link of that up here or in the description box. But essentially the problem is that I got the biggest blisters from these, like the biggest blisters I've ever had, and it was on both of my feet. Wore them for about 10 minutes and I walked outside to commute to the office, and on the walk there I was like, I cannot, my feet hurt so much. And my boyfriend was like, do you want to just go back and change your shoes? And I was like, no, you know what? That was my first time wearing them or attempting to wear them for a full day. And I really wanted to break them in because I really do love these. I could not last an entire day in the office. I had to take a lift back home at around 2 p.m. after all my meetings were done because my feet were in so much pain. I was literally, my heel was out of the shoe and I was like walking on tiptoe around the office. Part of it I think is like maybe they haven't been fully broken in, that's fine, but I feel like for the price I shouldn't have to endure this much pain to break them in. I would rather just sell them. The full video review whatever will be up there, but yeah, these were not it. The last item I no longer have with me because I sold them like I think over a year ago, and they are the Chloe Betty boots. I loved them when I got them, but several problems. So they're supposed to be rain boot. That was a selling point, and that's actually why I got them. But I feel like after the first 5 wears, I noticed that water would seep into the shoe. So even when I wasn't like wearing them when it was pouring rain, I could feel my toes getting a little damp. And I was like, why is it getting damp? I've barely worn these. These should not be leaking. And so that kind of annoyed me every time I wore it when it was raining outside, because like I said, they're supposed to be rain boots. The other problem is that in theory, the shoe is comfortable when you wear them for the first hour and a half, but I could not wear them for an entire day. They were not that comfortable in the long run, and I think part of it is because of the PVC. It kind of doesn't really mold to your foot very well, and because of the sole, it also makes it really, really heavy because of the rubber. And do I have, rubber boots? Absolutely, but none of them were as heavy or as like uncomfortable as these were, and for the life of me I could not understand it. I owned those for a really long time. They weren't like the Hermes Sneakers. I owned those for a solid year, maybe a year and a half, before I decided to sell them. Do I regret it? No, because I would rather own a pair of rain boots that actually work. Because I live in Boston, it doesn't rain very often outside of the winter time, and so I only need 1 pair. But if the 1 pair I own does not work, then what's the point of owning them, Anyway, so those are the 5 designer items I've sold / are about to sell. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And like I said, if you're interested in seeing the 5 designer items I would never sell, let me know by liking this video, and I will see you next time for another one. Bye, guys.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in